Hey, this is Philip, and today we are at Salt Fork State Park in southeastern Ohio. Yeah, we are at Salt Fork State Park today, hiking their trails, and they have trails all along around the lake. They're just kind of spread out, different loops, and we're just walking some of those loops at the park today around the lake. All right, this is the trail to Hosex Cave. The trail is a little bit narrow, wide enough for one person basically. They have these red blazes on the trees, show you where you're going. I think it actually goes up around here. And they have these red blazes painted on the trees, help you see where to go. And of course, a little bit of a rough trail. So the map shows that the trail goes in a big loop. I'm not really seeing a loop here. Looks like it goes straight in and straight back out. There's some big rocks up there, caves up ahead. I've seen a lot of videos where people are right up inside the cave. They have a sign that the trail ends here. And they had previous signs that shouldn't proceed any further. That looks a little treacherous to get back in there. Well, they have signs saying that you're not supposed to go back in there. And say the trail ends here, and I think we're just gonna head back. Well, that was interesting to see, but I don't see any good way to get back to the cave. Got some huge boulders here as you're going back out. It's a very interesting place. Lots of neat scenery in it. The trail's definitely rough. Could use some trail volunteers maybe. Alright, so we went to Hosex Cave, and that was kind of a bust. The map shows it as a half-mile loop, and we went back in there. I would say it's probably more like a quarter-mile, and it's straight in and straight back out. There's no loop. So either that or maybe the trail was just covered with leaves. But we couldn't see a loop. All we could see is a path going in and coming right back out. But it was really neat to see a lot of big rocks back in there. It's a neat looking cave, but you can't even walk all the way up to the cave. they say the trail stops basically where we were at. It was the end of the trail. Now we're at the Stonehouse Trail. There is a loop, a Stonehouse loop. We're going to go on that. Start out with some steps. Of course, they're all sloping forward, so. We do have some flurries today. It is snowing a little bit, but it is not icy. It's not icy on the ground. The snow's basically melting as soon as it hits the ground. It's cold. It's about 30 degrees, but a nice day for a hike. It's cold enough that you don't get hot, but it's not so cold that it's extremely uncomfortable. I like it. I think it's good weather for hiking. Wow, there's some huge rocks back in there. Okay, we've come to a fork in the trail. We're up here at point AA. Looks like we go around the loop. What is Y? I think that's where the house is. Which one do you want to go on first? Up in the woods or along the lake?
Along the lake.
Along the lake? Let's do it. Trail is a little bit rough, definitely nicer than the other one. The rocks almost make steps through there. See the lake real nice here. Hey guys, pay attention along the edge here. Don't want anybody falling down there. These rocks here are just massive. Yeah, they have some massive rocks here. It's really cool. All along the trail they have these huge rocks. And in the trail in some places. Need a spot for your picnic lunch.
Yeah.
It's like a huge rock. It's like a huge table. Of course, the top of it's covered with leaves. But you get a shot of some of these huge rocks along here. Now the lake is just beautiful even at this time of year. A lot of people come out in the warmer months to places like this, but to me, the lake and forest is beautiful any time of year. According to the map, there's a stone house at the end of this. I don't know where. Yeah, there's a huge rock there. Yeah, it's like the trail is kind of almost paved with boulders in the ground. It's really neat, but you have to watch when you're walking. You can trip easily or even twist an ankle. And you have these huge rocks out along water's edge, up in the forest as well. And that thing's massive. Don't know if we're supposed to go up through here or not. There's a trail worn through here anyway, so apparently everybody comes up in here. I think that's far enough.
There's maple leaves back here. Or whatever that is.
Wow. Trail is starting to go downhill. You know how that is. Whatever goes down has to come up again somewhere. You have to go down and up on the way back then too, probably. A little hard to distinguish the trail at different places. And if it wasn't for these red blazes on the trees every so often. But right through here is pretty good. But just certain places, you know, you really need the blazes. Because there's leaves everywhere. And the trails aren't getting used much right now. Just going along this trail, it goes right along the lake. And I'm just making mental note here to myself of all the different places in the warmer weather where we could bring along fishing poles and pretty much just walk right up to the edge of the lake. And you probably get some at least decent places for some shoreline fishing. I don't know how good the fishing is, but we just passed the intersection for the upper trail, so we got to be getting near the end where the stone house is supposed to be. Yeah, we were coming along here and heard something up ahead, something kind of big, just all at once took off. As we got up further, we could see deer tracks in the trail in the mud where the deer had just took off running. So we must have spooked the deer. Yeah, the trail came in away from the lake a little bit. And this surrounding area is changing a little bit. As you can see, it's not so rocky anymore. Lots of this fluff on the ground. Looks like pine needles, some kind of pine needles. All right, coming to the end of the trail. And we'll have to go back, take the loop back, but here is the Stone House Museum. The old stone house. Apparently that's an old house that was here on the property before it was made into a state park. Looks like you can drive back in here as well. The old Stone House Museum. 1840, wow. That is a neat old place. Walk around the house. And there is a picnic shelter. I suspected there would be. Well, you would think that's an outhouse, but there's a padlock on it. No climbing this historic structure. It's either a spring house or a cold cellar, maybe. Looks like it must have been some kind of cold cellar, cold storage before they had refrigeration. There's an additional structure out the back. I'm not sure if that's original or not. Some of these really old places had things like that, and that would be where the kitchen would be. They'd keep the kitchen outside so that they wouldn't have heat in the house. The place is closed. Not sure how well the camera's going to pick that up, but yeah. Unfortunately, it's closed right now. Where's the water? You got water? Yeah. They have this brick sidewalk going up to it, and they have lots of names carved in the bricks of people who donated, I guess, to preserve this old place. It's not very big. I'm gonna say it's probably 16 feet wide, maybe 30 feet in length. It's not very large. There's an interesting rock. Looks like it has iron inside of it. All right, you guys ready to head out?
Yeah.
Oh, this is pretty cool here. We've got a dock to tie your boat up to, so you can go to the old museum, old house museum, whatever. All right, coming up to the fork in the trail on the way back. To the left is the way we came. To the right is the upper trail. It's like the upper trail is 0.5 miles. Lower trail was 0.4. And from where they split to the house, looks like 0.3. Well, so far the upper trail has lots of little thorn bushes all along of it. If you can deal with that, not bad at all. Okay, just coming along on the return trail, the upper trail, and there's this huge rock and there's a cave under it. Just up from that, more interesting rock formations. You can still see the lake from along the upper trail, but we're definitely moving further away from it and more into the woods as we go uphill. So far this trail we went uphill, up, up, up. Now we're going down a little bit into that little gully or whatever you want to call it that we were on the lower trail, and then it looks like we're going to go back up again, so more uphill. Fun. Not sure how hard it is to see on camera, that big rock straight back there. That's where we came from. You almost go around the rim of this somewhat. It's not too bad, but then the trail comes up there. But the lower trail down by the lake, way down there, I'm not sure if this is picking up the scale or not on camera, but it's just an interesting view here. It really is. All right, time to press on. Onward and upward. Oh, that's interesting. This tree's so close to this rock. It's like growing onto the rock around it. Oh, that's interesting. Little cave place under there. There's some more down there, down trail. Now the trail goes down again. Down, down, down. Oh, this is kind of steep. Oh, I think I just saw a car on the road. Yeah. So we're getting close.
I see the parking lot.
Yep. Almost back to the parking lot.
Oh, keep going.
Yep, that was fun. This bridge, kind of funny. It looks like it dead ends in this mound of earth. You make a sharp turn to get off back onto the trail. Steps in need of repair. Okay, we are on the other side of the parking lot now. There's another trail at the other end of the parking lot. It's not on the map. We thought we'd walk it as well, but once we're down here to it and talking about it more, it sounds like the vote is to do something else. Is that right?
Yeah.
There are trails here that we've seen that there are trails here that are not on the maps, and so if you want to explore, it looks like this would be the place to do that. This trail is not on a map. There's a trail that goes along the lake, and then there's a fork that goes up into the woods. And we did walk down a little bit just along the lake. Well, it's not on a map, and we're not sure where it actually goes. And it's getting kind of late. Probably time for us to head back. Well, if you like this video, please share it with your friends. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next one.